welcome to What Culture. I'm Scott, and I'm only a few hours removed from seeing Captain Marvel. I thought it was such a mixed bag. I've got to state up front, like every reviewer seems to have to, that I couldn't care less about the mobilized force of anti-Brie Larson fanatics, or likewise those wanting to like the movie so much that they actively won't address any criticism. Because like finding resolution in the vast majority of arguments, the solution is somewhere down the middle. And for everything Captain Marvel does well, there's an opposing element dragging it right the way back down again. Let's back up. At this stage, you likely know Captain Marvel is a powerful figure in the MCU, capable of summoning photon energy blasts from her hands, and that she's the one remaining lifeline Nick Fury calls at the close of Infinity War to help reverse the Thanos snap. For her solo movie, we're heading back to the 90s, and we've got the introduction of the Skrulls as a shape-shifting, planet-invading alien force, alongside a fledgling S.H.I.E.L.D. still finding their footing. Its positioning in the wider MCU as a saga pegs Captain Marvel as a filler stepping stone towards the season finale of Endgame. We know Carol Danvers is instrumental in fixing the mess from Infinity War thanks to being paged at the close of the film, and all we needed was an introduction to the character proper, plus some potential teasers of her full power set. Hell, I would absolutely settle for Brie Larson getting to be Brie Larson, twinning her multifaceted and Oscar-winning abilities with the direction of indie powerhouse duo Anna Boden and Ryan Fleck on both direction and writing duties for a more focused character piece. Sadly, the reality of watching all these elements unfold occasionally feels spectacularly naff. Larson's attempt to portray wall-to-wall power comes across as one-dimensional, smirking and empty, though that goes hand in hand with a script that gives her nothing to do and nowhere to go. She starts the movie as a noble warrior hero and ends in the exact same place. There's no character flaw outside of discussions of overcoming emotion on the battlefield, no empathetical reason to get on board with her struggle outside of montaged images of her falling down. Obviously, there's the baseline here as a person going through something human connection, but if you take the immaculate work done to showcase the likes of Captain America or Steve Rogers coming to terms with how manufactured patriotism can be, how Tony Stark built the weapons he now needs to destroy, or how Thor was just a spoiled brat in need of maturity, across all three cases there are notable beginning and end points full of room to grow. Even newer installments like Doctor Strange meant character development came more from the script than anything on the acting side, but we had a definable progression from front to back. The reason Captain America's "I could do this all day" worked so well, it represented his entire character and reason to push through. Yes, the reason we love the cast so much comes from years worth of sequels, but if we're talking origin stories or first installments, all the major players were given far better scripts than what Larson has to work with here. Let's switch gears and talk positives though, because there is a lot to like. Boden and Fleck's framing of the Kree homeworld Hala is gorgeous, a futuristic utopia filled with flying cars and cloud-ticklingly high skyscrapers. Kree technology has a today plus a few decades feel, and the pair do a fantastic job fleshing out the Kree as a force across the galaxy, including Ronan and Korath from Guardians of the Galaxy to show something of their origins too. Visual effects are, as to be expected, spectacular, saying nothing of the effortlessly effective de-aging tech used to bring Samuel L. Jackson and Clark Gregg back to 1995. Captain Marvel looks great in motion, and her flight scenes have a solid sense of almost anime-style momentum to their most anarchic moments. Praise to Brie Larson in this respect too. She worked her ass off getting in shape to actually do all of her own stunts, and that makes her physical presence across the film more than believable. Sound design is also memorable and identifiable. I kind of found the crowbar in 90s soundtrack to be a bit distracting, the "oh look it's a Game Boy, a wishing troll, or a Fonz lunchbox" stuff extending to "here's some No Doubt" or "here's some Nirvana." But the movie's score, its use of bassy synth notes, and even what I swear is a theremin to connote the Skrulls invading a home on Earth both sound out nicely. Speaking of the Skrulls, there are some divisive but surprisingly enjoyable twists involving their place in the story. I'm personally not massive on humanizing what could be an identifiably unique alien race, but Ben Mendelsohn is having the time of his life as leader Talos, and Marvel very much carry forward the post-Civil War ideology of having villains that aren't just evil for the sake of it. Where Captain Marvel takes the Skrulls goes from a brilliant "someone's not who you think they are" reveal through to territory that will either delight or annoy, and I'm mostly veered towards the former. Back to wider commentary though, and the idea of texturing the film with 90s ephemera is mostly a positive. Your mileage will vary on usage of songs and random props, and one particular song fight scene combo is atrocious, but Larson and Samuel L. Jackson's buddy cop vibe, or the black sedans connoting a Men in Black era for S.H.I.E.L.D., are both distinguishable amongst the rest of the MCU and work in the film's favor. Speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D. though, and I'll steer totally clear of spoilers, setting this earlier in the timeline whilst indulging in rather seismic events like a frickin' alien invasion does create some plot holes in terms of conversations that happen later in the timeline. Fury noting in the Avengers that it was Thor's arrival that prompted a change in tactics, as they were not only alone but hopelessly hilariously outgunned. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense anymore because he knew about the existence of aliens back in 1995. There are a host of kind of moments throughout, and most are explainable, but unless I'm missing something, this feels like a rather large issue. On top of that, some new retcons to the canon are totally fine and totally serviceable, but range from, okay, I guess this is how we're paying this off after so many movies and theories, to straight up, this is how Han Solo got his name, unnecessary randomness. Captain Marvel has a host of script, direction, acting, and tone problems. Larson and Cap herself have very little to do from front to back. Direction is jarringly scattershot during scenes that should build character, and a lot of Bree's overall performance tends to confuse power with smarmy arrogance, alongside the attempts at humor that universally fall flat. Action, as I've mentioned, is great in a purely visual sense, but Danvers' power set consists entirely of super strength, arm beams, and flight. Towards the close of the film, when she should be displaying some jaw-dropping examples of her full ability set, it's actually pretty boring just watching her shoot a guy, shoot another guy, and then if anyone gets too close, she'll shoot the floor, making them back away again. Many, including myself, feared for Captain Marvel's role in the MCU boiling down to just being a big, overpowered gun, and in these scenes, it's entirely the case. Maybe it's just me, but relentless arm beams aren't a fun thing to watch on screen. On the other hand, everything here is a first step towards something far, far greater, and considering the geography of where Carol has been, there's an argument to be made that future films will see her embark on one of the best character arcs in the MCU. I more than have faith in Brie Larson, and especially in the Russo brothers in terms of when we'll see her again in April. You can stick around after the credits here for some perfect Endgame sequel teasing, and here's to Infinity War Part 2, providing a satisfying next step for all involved. For now though, I'm gonna have to give Captain Marvel 2.5 out of 5. It's a rating that reflects just how middling and, yep, sure, I guess it's more Marvel the whole thing feels, a notion that works in the grand scheme of things, but I can't be the only one that was disappointed that this wasn't a more certifiable knockout. There are too many concepts barely executed on, and I didn't come away actively wanting to see more of Captain Marvel as a character, more than just a what happens next for her battle against Thanos or her relationship with the Avengers. Take all of that for what you will, and let me know down in the comments what you made of Captain Marvel, or if you're planning to see it in the future. I've been Scott from ourculture.com. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you soon.
Look, my son, look at the marvel that I have created. Comics. They called me a fool for trying to put a dead meme onto a t-shirt. A damn bold fool! A damn bold fool with an ass that won't quit. It got quite personal towards the end there. But look who's laughing now! Quiet! Quiet, my son, my ugly son, for my other creation rises. Look at the quality fabric, hand-stitched by blind orphans. The perfect letter spacing calculated so meticulously that Rich Hudson had an erection for months about it. And a colouring so deep that I had to buy the dye off the dark web. Oh, for God's sake, Josh!
Sorry.
Oh, Marvel. Oh no, the beast has grown angry, angered by our drab fashion choices. I am such a fool to think that it wouldn't try to infect us with its perfect design. Quick, we must do something to appease the beast. Why don't we buy one from shop.worldculture.com? Oh. Look, it's already got Scott Nash.
Oh no!
But where can I buy one? Are you kidding me? This is why I don't give you any extra lines. But also at shop.whatculture.com. Quick, let's go and buy one right now. Let's go buy one right now.
Right now.
Oh, don't you try hard now. You've already lost your bit. Oscar's in the f***ing bin. Ah, there we go. Doesn't that look better? I feel so virile and alive, and it's also fixed your hump. That's actually pretty good. Now, do yourself a favour and act like your mum and spread the love, aka her legs, and buy yourself one of these glorious dead memes on a t-shirt, courtesy of this handsome chap right here. You're very, very welcome.
Cut!
Jesus Christ, mine is so
It's
itchy.
all wet. What?
It stinks. I pissed on yours.
The worst font ever.
I want to die.